It's time to finish the story off for the night. Patting off all the other videos, you know how I go. Now I want to talk about education and all the other clips how I was talking about all that and why you should have all that, because then you won't want to destroy everything so much, as you'll get along with it a bit better, as you'll tolerate it a little bit more and understand. And then when there's too much of whatever it is, too much, not just none, because it's beautiful with none for you, because you feel king that you can have completely nothing. And in a way, you can set that up, but still be nice if you look back on some clips. I'm sure there's one of them there that mentions something like that. Or I will in the future. To go with the balance. So there's at least some or enough around that you can work with. And when it goes beyond working with, that's when you go, well, look, I'm just going to have to be the bad guy here. Right? And I'm not really the bad guy, because as it's balanced, and you guys, and I've let you guys go so far, but you can't go so far because you're going to take over everything. It's just like if I let that creature go so far and that creature go, it'll go too far, it'll just be all them. So I'm just here to just do this. But I can feel in my mind and in my heart that I'm doing the right thing, because they're hurting my children too much. They know the education, but they're getting overwhelmed with them, you see. Or me. And so I need to do something about it. It needs to be a 50-50 of how I feel and in my space. So you can have your whole house around you clean. You've got a big enough property, and then help out over there. Just trying to, if you be clean, just tell people that you're clean, and hopefully there's not too many of you. Because if there was too many of this one cult once that they all like to be clean and fancy la-di-das, and they took over and everything died because of it, you see. And so hopefully the balance will work out, because if it don't, it goes bad. Now imagine a world full of creatures, a little bit like a video game running through the bush, and there's creatures everywhere. You won't starve with such a place like that, would you? So as long as your population, if your population's growing and all the growth around you is growing the same, you still got things around you. And you know what that means to the animal kingdom? When they still see food around them? That means they can grow. When there's not much food around them, the animal kingdom naturally, that we've lost the ability to stop growing so much. Not a good idea. So it won't work out too well. Some of them try it out, haven't learnt it collectively with the other collective, or natural. Lost the instinct. We don't all get it. But you see, you gotta go with the flow, otherwise you put the flow out, like blocking a river that needs to flow, and you decide to put a block bridge across it. That will affect things, wouldn't it? As it doesn't allow, doesn't bend, it just blocks. Anyway, have a good one, and I'm sure if you did that, this planet, and plenty of trees, of course, with the oxygen, we have plenty of water and land, that we can get a plenty and have a lot of humans, a lot more than what we have now, as we can be spread as we are now, maybe a little bit more spread out, a bit more land box sizes might help in the future, until we decide to want to be closer as a family if space ran out in that situation. But we can always set up and be everywhere and still have parks and nature, and be beautiful in the beautiful areas that it should be. And in paddocks and plain areas is where we can be, you see. Still leave places, still have things, and have patience of the things that we might want to have, as the balance might get out of whack on certain things, like trees and other things in the ocean that's stopping us having nice, plentiful oxygen. See, when we have plentiful oxygen, look back in history and science have spoken about it, things are bigger, grow bigger and quicker. You don't want too much oxygen, it's a bad thing. But there's a sweet spot here on Earth that's been before. And if you found that, you become bigger. Everything around you comes bigger. The sky won't be so far away, right? Because the oxygen's the best oxygen supply, like feeding a plant. They'll do the same thing if you're captivity in the plant in a room, right? You'd want to have the oxygen flow good. One day we might get there. One day we might be bigger when we get there. When we get there and we get bigger, we might travel like you see in movies, like in Alien, with bigger aliens in there. Right? Bigger creatures that they find. Anyway, have a good one. And bye-bye. And I think I'm thinking way too far in the future. But they're possibilities and facts of what could happen when you get things right. And what's happened before. Have a good one. And bye-bye.